Hello and welcome to all the men and women of the West. I'm Joe. Today's going to be a solo video as Dan preferred to duck out. The trouble with Rings of Power is that it is a very confused series from what I can understand. It wants a new audience, but it also wants the core Lord of the Rings audience, be that the Peter Jackson movie adaptations or the novels by Tolkien. But it seems to have gotten things wrong for some reason, and I'm not going to explore the reasons why things probably got confused along the way, as that's not really my area of interest. But I will, however, explore how it could have been fixed, and how they got all the characters' journeys kind of confused, and who should have been in what role. Now, by this time, I've found out that despite my continuing to refuse to watch the show because I'm not terribly interested, I'm just going to say what I would have done for some of the characters. I won't do a episode by episode how I would have done it until maybe November or December, if that's what people are interested in. But in general, I'm just going to do broad strokes here in this video. I think that Celebrimbor should have been the main character. I'm just going to come out and say it. Celebrimbor should have been the lead, and the show should have gotten into his feelings of shame for being the grandson of Feanor and son of Curufin. We should have gotten an exploration of Celebrimbor as a man, well, I say a man, but as an elf, and his love for Galadriel should have, if you want to approach it from a drama point of view. We should have gotten the Celeborn, Galadriel, Celebrimbor drama. I also think that they should have maybe brought in Celebrian as maybe being someone that Celebrimbor has an uncle or a father-daughter type of relationship to, and that this could have allowed us to set him up in a Ned Stark and Arya Stark kind of relationship, where we see him doting on a young girl who has a lot of promise, and we see him as a bit of a world-weary, middle-aged elf, so to speak. One who's not had a very good life, who's struggling, but wants to do the right thing. And that this should have been the focus, along with his bromance with Narvi, of course. In turn, though, Elrond should have been a bit more the impulsive one between him and Galadriel, because Galadriel is really, by this time, essentially someone who's a little more experienced, a little wiser than what she's probably portrayed in the series. Her donning the armor and going warrior woman, I don't have a problem with. I actually like that idea. But I kind of think that, what with how Elrond is the youngest of these elves, you've got his relationship with Elros. This could help do a lot of good setup for his character, and it would allow us to explore a lot of different sides of Elrond that we haven't seen previously. We could see how he feels about his brother, and how he feels about his brother's legacy being tarnished by the increasingly glory-hungry, power-hungry, greedy Númenóreans, and how this distresses him and his loss of faith to an extent in these people. And that we could see him at the start having a lot of faith in the Númenóreans, blindly so, and then by the end we could see him basically losing trust in them and realizing how far they have fallen, inflict a great deal of grief upon him, as he did love his brother, and we can see how this might weigh upon him. I think that Galadriel should have been the mentor to Elrond in a way there, along with Gil-galad, basically putting Elrond in the Padawan learner position and Galadriel and Gil-galad as the masters here. You could have had Galadriel maybe do a murder mystery type of storyline. That could work. I don't mind that idea. It seems they kind of did that with her on the hunt for Sauron. They could still kind of do that, but they can't portray her as being angry and angsty and whatnot. That said, Celebrimbor definitely should be the heart of the series, with him basically being the gullible, nice guy that he is. We should see this series through his eyes. As for Elrond, we should see his relationship with Celebrian start to develop and deepen. Elrond kind of being caught in the middle a little between Númenor and Gil-galad, but at the same time maintaining his loyalties and love for his cousin Gil-galad. We should see Gil-galad being the wise guy he is. Tell me what you think of this idea of how to fix this series, as it seems that this series has caused a lot of anger and frustration with a lot of people, and it seems like it's left very few people satisfied. If you were satisfied by the series as it is, that's fine. Enjoy what you enjoy, but for those who weren't satisfied, perhaps this video will appeal to you. If it has, then do feel free to smash that like and that subscribe button, as though you were Sauron trying to smash Gil-galad into itty-bitty pieces.